I got that from one of my homegirls.
Welcome to the Ask a Black Dad segment of the week. If you are a founding father of the Black Dads Club, for $25 a month, you can not only ask us a question, but you can call in right now. But nobody's going to call in. Also, if you are on our middle tier on Patreon, you can call in. But this is the Black Dads Ask a Black Dad, where you can ask us anything. I will always tell the truth. Mike may or may not, depending on if you paid or not. But this is brought to you by CLTBLKGLD. What did I just say? Oh, Charlotte Black Gold. Sorry. Shout out to them. Shout out to Marcus. We love you. We can't wait to rock with you. And Mike is going to let us know how easy you made it for him on his next date. What is the Ask a Black Dad segment?
All right. So one of my homegirls, she asked me, she was like, when it's okay to date potential? Because these N-words have potential and no plan, right? So she had sent me, I guess it was a conversation, this is probably on Threads, because that's where all the black women are congregating that's mad at black men. It was, some girl had posted, or some lady had posted, at some point, some of y'all got to date the guy with potential if you don't want to stay single. All right? And she was like, when is it okay? So the question was, when is it okay to date a guy, for potential, right? And one of the things that I told her, I was just like, there's a difference between potential and ambition, right? Potential means the capacity for, ambition means the plan to.
Okay.
And I was like, you just have to recognize, does the guy have a plan to, or does he just have the capacity for? Right? Because those are two completely different things, right? A guy that has a plan to, he'll say, in 10 years, I want to, have a townhouse and a 4Runner, right? Right.
Yeah.
And then he'll tell you, like, how you going to do it? All right. But I'm going to pay this car off, save this amount of money a month. And, boom, 10 years from now, I'll have this, right? That is a plan too, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's a man that's ambitious, right? Because he doesn't have it now. And he's like, all right, I'm going to get to it, right? Yeah. Now, you'll have another guy and you'll be like, yo, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And he'll be like, man, uptown penthouse, AMG 63, Mercedes Benz. Facts. Okay, how you going to get there? Man, I'm going to hustle and I'm going to grind and I'm going to do, and then when things pop off, I'm going to take off, right? Facts. Now, he could have the capacity for that, right? But he doesn't have a plan to. So when you don't date men who are ambitious, don't date men that have potential. That's what I'm trying to say. Facts.
That's my favorite thing when I ask somebody like, oh, of course I deal with a lot of photographers. So it's like, oh, what you gonna do? Next year I'm gonna make $100,000. I'm like, all right, cool. So how you gonna do that? Now I'm gonna just start working, right? I'm gonna just book and I'm gonna post on Instagram and then I'm gonna kill it, bro. Yeah. Like I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna work. And it's like, all right, cool, bet. I'm gonna holler at you later because I know it's not going nowhere. And so with me, male or female, when I deal with those photographers, I just smile, give them a thumbs up, and say, thoughts and prayers. But cool for you, yeah. But it's different when you go speak. How you gonna do it? Well, actually, I got 10 weddings already planned. I just need to find another 4. Yeah. Then also, I'm planning on helping these photographers. Second shoot. Also, I got a space. I'm renting that out to get this, and it's like, oh, you really might get that 110, that 120 next year. And that's what I like to hear. And that's when I take people serious. Funny enough, never mind, he might be listening. But I have people all the time. You know what? I'll give you a better example. Every time I do a mentorship, I sit down with people. The first question before we ask, I don't ask to see their camera. I don't ask what they like shooting. I don't ask what they do, how long they've been doing this. I say, what do you want to get out of this? Yeah. Because I'd rather cater what we doing to what you want to get out of this. Some people just want to get better at taking pictures. They still want their full-time job. They still want to do this every day. And then some people really look at this and say, yo, I want to have a full-fledged business. Yeah. Like, I don't want to work for nobody anymore. I want to make and those are two different paths. So yeah, I'm with Mike, yo. Dating on ambition. Potential versus ambition. Like you don't date for potential. You can date for ambition though. And here's the thing. I think a lot of men are ambitious and they do have plans. And I think that the problem is a lot of women can't decipher the difference between potential and ambition, right? Because the uptown penthouse suite and the AMG 63 sounds way better than the 4Runner.
and the townhome, you know, in Rock Hill, right? Like, those two things, like, which one sounds better? The first one, obviously, duh, right?
Yeah.
But which one is more likely to happen? Probably the second one. So I think,
not even which one is more likely to happen. Which one you willing to work for? That's another thing we don't never talk to people about.
This is true.
Like, what are you willing to do to get to where you're going? Funny enough, we didn't put it in here. We didn't put it in. I forgot to put it on the board. Cameron talking about Joe's Pod, right? He's talking about the chaos up there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I laughed at that clip because I remember, at least for those who I know, I started listening to Joe Budden around episode. It was either 100 or 150, whatever. They in, I think, in the 800s now.
Yeah.
So I've been listening for a long ass time, too long. I remember in the 300s when Joe said, I'm going to create a podcast of chaos and just run it up. He said that. He said then, this is when they only had 4 people, 3 people on camera, and Parks was not on camera.
Yeah.
So he got 4 people, and he said, I want at least 6 or 7 people up here, and I wanted to be chaos for hours of people just yelling. He said, I know what we can create.
Yeah.
It sounded stupid then. Then you looking up and he making $20 million a year on a podcast, right? But who's willing to put in that work? Who willing to figure out the tinkering? Who's willing to say, what does this do? You know, who's willing to say, it was funny, I forgot who back he was kicking in last week, but he was like, yo, I got connections up there. Some of us who's willing, I told my sister one time, she told me she wanted to do something. And I said, well, you need to do it. She said, why? I said, because it's a girl who's younger than you and prettier than you who willing to do way more.
Yeah.
And you better figure this shit out quicker than her.
Yep.
Because you better be wise, you better be smarter than her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times, like, what are you willing to do? Marcus, you got an app right now. What are you willing to do to make sure this app is in all 50 states, in every major black city? Like, how far, how fast are you willing to go? And a lot of times, ladies, you not willing, you got to look for that man to say, is he willing? Hey, if you want the AMG, you want the Uptown penthouse, what you doing to get it? A lot of people just talk, and then you talk to them in 2 weeks, they still talking about the same shit.
Yeah, still talk because it's potential, right?
Yeah,
it's potential. So
or they just like to say the same shit.
Yeah. So, you know, and it's like if you find a man that is ambitious, right, and it's not potential, you know, how do you add to that, right? How do you add value to that? Because you could very easily just chip away from it and take away from it, and a lot of men have suffered that fate. Yeah. Right. Whereas, we were ambitious, right? But then someone chipped away from it and took from it, right? Yeah. So it's like now that exhaustion is starting to settle in. So, you know, again, that came from, you know, one of my homegirls, and she was just like, hey, you know, should men, like women are having this conversation of dating men for potential. And here's the thing. I think a lot of times, too, it's easier to date a man for potential because he ain't really doing anything. So you don't really have to do anything. If you date a man that, again, is ambitious and he has a plan, there's going to be a roadmap that everybody involved are going to have to follow, whether you want to or not. And I think that's different, right? Because potential, you could just talk, you could talk around it. You ain't got to do it. Yeah. Ambition, we got to get with the plan, and he gonna be quick to cut bait. Absolutely. I laugh at when I first met my wife. Shout out to her. Happy anniversary. Oh yeah, that's right. Happy anniversary to Gal. Happy anniversary. Thank you. We should open the pod with that, man. It's too late now. We damn near an hour and so in. And Ben always hit me up. He sends me the number, how long the podcast is. And was like, what are y'all doing up there? He think he can get the podcast done in traffic. Nah, buddy, you're going to have to take 2 days to listen to us now. You know, but when I first met my wife, she was a server. Yeah. Right? Then once we started dating, she was still a server, but she was a coordinator at the Holiday Inn of all places. And no shade to the Holiday Inn, but y'all know what's up. And so it was one of those things. And mind you, we leaving the Ritz. So she leaving the Ritz to go work at the Holiday Inn. And I remember, you know, the funny part is when me and my wife started like kicking it, she was unemployed. She had just gotten fired. Yeah. I got her, fellas, that's how you do it. I waited for her to get fired and then I took her out. Because I knew, you know what I'm saying, she vulnerable at this point. We can make this happen, man. Y'all be trying to get the girl wrong. Y'all doing it wrong. But anyway. Not Gavin endorsing economic abuse. Oh, yeah. Financial abuse is financial abuse. Yeah. Y'all need to lean more into that. Y'all be doing it all wrong. But no, she didn't have a job. But the cool part is when me and her are talking, I'm constantly talking to her at this time. Like, what is the plan? And bro, I remember she told me her plan. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, let's see what happens. Yeah. So then when she leaves, you know, you start off, you're server at the Holiday Inn, right? Then you planning all of their weddings. And then you're like, hey, I'm about to go to the embassy and I'm going to open this hotel. And I'm like, okay.
And you go do that and you planning all the events. And then you saying, hey, I'm going to leave here and I'm going to go, and work for Live Nation. And I'm going to do all of their events. And I'm like, okay. And now she's where she at because y'all like to dox people.
Yeah, they do.
But you know what I'm saying? Now she's doing the global events for them. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, her ass going out of town this weekend.
Hey, man. Life of a boss.
Yeah, my boss, basically. But it's one of those things, and it was that ambition that I was like, all right. And she showed me something. You got to show also. A lot of y'all, you laying on bullshit because he ain't showing you stuff.
Yep.
And sometimes you got to wake up and make sure you don't get pregnant before you find out he been showing you a lot of bullshit. Please don't get pregnant before then.